Okay, I was gonna do a quick video. I had did some mods on a Blade Torrent 110, and I have a couple of them. So I ended up going online and finding a Lynx Gosh2 frame that you can actually take everything off your Torrent and put it onto one of their frames. So I did that, and I figured if there's anybody out there that's looking to do the same mod and just haven't seen any reviews on it or like this a video, because there's only I think one other one besides this one, and give you an idea if you want to do that or not. So anyway, I'll get right off into it. There's a whole lot to talk about in a short amount of time, so I'll just jump off into the torrent here that I did and tell you what I used and what worked and what didn't work and go from there. So anyways, let me fix my camera just a little bit. So if you look, I do run the 2345 Kingkongs with the guards, which come off the ET115 Kingkong. And I'll put some descriptions in there to kind of give you an idea of the parts that I used. And the reason why I finally went this route and settled with it, because one, these are probably by far the best props to me, as far as durability and of course performance. I think it's a great setup on this particular quad. It handles very good. And some guys don't like to run prop guards. I did both. I did it with and without, and I find I like it better because I don't know, I just crash a lot on concrete, and I'm always in the bushes and hitting trees and all that good stuff, and I don't know, I'm trying to protect it a little bit, and of course the props last a whole lot longer to me. But I was running the 2035 gym fans, and they're good. I think they're a little too small for this type of quad, but then again, if you're not running any guards and you have a different preference, it becomes that it's all in preference. So I'll leave that as it is. If you are running without prop guards, I would suggest the 2440s. I believe this is. Hold on, I got it. These are, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, these are the 2435s. I'm sorry, I was drawing blanks. So yeah, 2435s, and the only guards you can put them with if you want to run guards with this type of blade are these here. And I was running these I got stuff everywhere. These are the 2.8 King Kongs, and they will fit. They do cut out. And I'll show you real quick if it'll cooperate with me. But that gives you an idea what they look like on the frame. It does work. You have to do some modding on it, but they will fit. That's if you want to run guards running the 2435 King Kongs, the GT90s, I believe what they show on when you purchase them on eBay. Good props. I like them. They have some flex to them. They bend kind of easy, but again, like I said, you can fly them, crash them, bend them back, you're all flying again. They're not brittle like the stock ones that we all know. That just they disintegrate as soon as you crash. Anyway, I'll leave that at that. I'm not going to bash anything, but they could do a little better. The 2222s are about equivalent to the stock as far as size and performance, but again, my opinion, they're a little too brittle for me. They break relatively easy, and I just don't like having to change these props out over and over because I crash, I fly hard. So anyway, enough said on that. If you do get the 2.8, which comes with the these are the 2840s, they will not fit. Unfortunately, they're pretty cool. They're big. They fit in the back just barely, but they won't fit in the front because of the camera mount and some other stuff. You can probably do some modifications and make them fit. I just haven't done that yet. But they will come with the 2.8 King Kongs. So if you do run the 2345s, you cannot run with the stock guards. And doesn't matter because they're not really that good anyway. I would prefer using the 2.3 King Kongs anyway. And the reason for that is the 2345s, they just fit inside the prop guard. So they have rubbing issues, and it's just, it doesn't work. It didn't for me, but I'm sure it won't work for you. With that being said, if you do like to run prop guards, as I do, you would have to use the the ET115 Kingkongs 2.3s, and this is the package that it comes in. The 2.3 inch black comes with 2 sets of props. You have the translucent yellow with the solid white, and you get the guards plus some hardware to mount. So I like that. Get your set, you won't be disappointed. Now to go on, like I said, if you do run these, you have to do a little bit of modifications. There's a lip on this particular guard right here. You have to discard about an inch and a half from here to about here, and that way it doesn't have any issues holding pressure up against the canopy. I don't get any jello effect in my camera when I'm flying, so I don't have that issue, but you still have some flexibility to put a little piece of foam or some cushioning if you start getting that. Nonetheless, I was running the Runcam Swift 2 on here, but I did remove it to put it on this mod, and just haven't gotten another camera to put on here. I'm thinking about going with a Fox here just to have 2 different cameras, and I'll do maybe a review on that to see what I think. Personally, I think they're the same with different settings, but that's another argument and story, so I'm sure I'll get some slack on that. But anyway, the rabbit ears you see here, I have a Walkure 210 and had some extra antenna ears. And we all know if you fly like I do around concrete and curves and sidewalks, you land upside down, you just shear this stuff right off. Same thing with my VTX. So just kind of rumbling through what I had and seeing what worked and what wouldn't work. I put these on there and they worked awesome. You know, you crash, they bend, they fold, you know, you pop them back up, you're all flying again. I do like that. And plus you keep a great polarization, you get good reception. I like that. Same with the VTX. did away with that because I did just shear it off. It just became one little bitty nub, and I wanted to run a different antenna anyway, and I couldn't figure out how to solder anything on, excuse me, on the VTX that's given. So I went and purchased the Eachine VTX02, which is a 200 milliwatt. So you have the VTX01. They come individual, either 25 milliwatt, 200, or 600. I went with 200 because it's kind of in the middle, and I fly solo anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to really interfere with nobody. And the reason I went this route, 1, for size, 2, because of the IPX connector. I had to go with this because I wanted to fly my antenna low in the canopy and not so high, being the VTX sits up here at the top, and I didn't want to go to the same issues I was dealing with of shearing things off. So this is what I had to get, which is a pigtail that has the SMA connector with the IPX connector, and it just fits in case anybody hasn't really messed with any of these. You just get it and it pops in, and you'll feel it secure like a snap button. Exactly what it is, and it works fine. So I was able to get it fitted up inside there. Again, I had to curl it. You can probably find some short ones, but this is what I could find. And secure it in the top canopy with some hot glue, along with your VTX. You can fasten it in your canopy with hot glue as well. The only thing is, you know, once you set and without cutting a bunch of holes, you can do your own mod as you want. But like I said, I fly solo, so I don't have to really worry about changing my channels. I set mine to 5740. I have it running 200 milliwatt, and that's what I fly. So once it was fixed in there, I just glued everything so where it wouldn't come out, and that's what I run. And I like the option to run my own antenna. Anyway, I know that was pretty quick, but I didn't want to waste a lot of time. Just kind of give you an idea of what I used, what worked, what didn't work, and all in all, I like this setup. So with that being said, I pretty much used the exact same setup on the Lynx Gosh2 frame. And again, the 2345 props with the guards, running the Runcam Swift 2. And again, I'm running the same VTX Eachine VTX Eachine 02, which is the 200 milliwatt. And the Pagoda emax 2 antennas. So I thought about putting the rabbit ears that I used on this one here. I thought about putting that on here, but there wasn't really any places to put it. But it does come with 2 little portholes to run your antennas out the back. So just got some tie straps, some heat shrink, made them in the back, and you know, so far so good. I will say, I'm not going to bash them, but if you're looking for better performance, I'm not going to say it's better performance. I think it flies equal to the 110 because it is a 110 just on a different frame. So if you, excuse me, if you're looking to mod it or you're looking to run different VTX or anything like that, it's just looks at that point. And I went this route just to see what it looked like. I will say during the build, if I had any gripes or complaints, and maybe if Lynx is watching these videos on YouTube about their products, I think it's worth mentioning these little columns here that helps build your stack that divide it. They're real flimsy, so I had a hard time. And anyway, to me, it wasn't that simple. And we all know if you ever taken this apart, the little bitty little plastic washers in there in the stack, and they're repairing the butt. I'm gonna say this one's easier than this one, and that's my opinion. But I did find some issues trying to deal with that. And then again, this little plastic rubber top plate they give you on top, I find that to be kind of weird because your bolt that runs through your stack to the top, instead of threading into it, it just kind of, can't really see, but there's a little bitty perforated holes in this thing, so you have to force your bolt through it, and that's just squish it in there, and that's what secures it. So I'm kind of, I don't know about that. Then of course running your transmitter and your receivers and everything, and the top of it, it just more sandwiches it in there and keeps pressure up against it. Now, to me, that's what's keeping it secured. But again, my opinion, I haven't flown it enough to see if that's going to be a problem, but it does fit. Again, I had to put 2 bolts on the side, kind of use this canopy as a hood and just lower it down, tuck my wires in, and keep doing that until I finally got it in there. The only problem with that, I find that it could use a little bit more void in here. You can have a little bigger cavity you can run, because that's a small receiver or transmitter that I'm running in there, and it's tight. It's real tight. And with the canopy, the hole to run my SMA out of was extremely tight. I had to do some cutting and grinding and filing to finally get it in there, and when I did that, there's not much room, so I ended up cracking a little bit. So maybe I had a defective piece, maybe not. I don't know. If that is an issue, that's something they can work on and fix down the road if they want to run a different canopy. So I'm sure you can design something different. I do like that they give you a different 2 canopies, one to run your stock, so you can run your antenna in it. You have a hole here to still select your channels. I like that. And of course you do have mounting tabs to run your standard VTX if you want to go that route. So they give you that option, or they give you a separate canopy to do the option like I did. And that's what I did. Anyway guys, hopefully that helps out. I know that's quick, but I didn't want to just kind of ramble on about every little bitty thing on this, but I want to give you an idea of what I use as far as props, prop guards, cameras, and VTX, and things like that. So that's what I did, guys. I'll put some links, or I say links, I'll just put some descriptions in here to show you or tell you what I use, what I have. And like I said, running the 2345s, you have to run the ET115 Kingkong guards, or run no guards at all. And if you want to run the 2435 props, either run it without guards, or if you want guards, because same issues. They fit exactly inside these guards, and they have rubbing problems. At least this one did. And that's why I had to go with the 2.8 guards, and you get plenty of room if you want to go that route. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully this is helpful to some new comers and want to do some modding. So thanks for watching.